Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. First of all, I want to make a small announcement. We in our academy, we are launching a new anthropology batch, and if you want to join either online and offline, you can contact us on this number, and I'll be dealing both with paper and as well as paper 2, and I'll cover each and every single topic which is there in your syllabus without missing anything, guys. Okay, so try to join as soon as possible, and if you miss this batch, again we are going to launch another batch in next year itself. Okay, so if you have any inquiries, please to contact us on this number 8074765513, guys. Okay, now let us see the topics of the day. The first topic is Karnataka develops manual to establish child-centric village communities in state. This article is important from governance point of view, because in your governance you will study about these topics of children, women, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes. They comes under vulnerable sections of society. So if you get any question related to child rights, you can add this article as a case study, or how government is taking some steps to improve or to protect the rights of the children. This topic is very important. It will be used as an value addition in your answer. And next one is Lok Sabha passes Supreme Court Judges Bill without any discussion. Now you know protests are going on in this monsoon session, and most of the bills are passed in the houses without proper discussion. And recently we discussed one more article. What is that article? Without discussion, which bill had been passed in the recent past? Come on. Births and Registration Act, which had been passed without discussion. Okay. And next topic is IAF chief begins Vietnam visit to boost defense ties. This article is talking about India and Vietnam relations, and this article is also talking about defense. This topic is very important from IR. And next topic is heat stress during pregnancy linked to adverse birth outcome, says study. This article is talking about how this heat stress or climate change which will be having negative impact on pregnancy. And this topic is important from GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. And next topic is water bombing aircraft helps Greece battle wildfires. So this article is talking about one important aircraft that we can use to control these wildfires. And you have to see what is that about. On this, UPSC can give you a prelims-based question. Apart from these articles, there are 3 articles which are important from your editorial section. First one is about Births and Deaths Registration Bill, which had been passed recently. What it says? 21 days of mandatory registration of birth and death. And this one is we have to connect it to a national database. And government will try to come up with policies and plans according to the data. Right? And next article, it is about FIFA. You know about this FIFA football? Yes. So here there is one article related to FIFA. So already I said which points you have to remember, like who won, against whom, what are the changes which made. Okay. And next article, it is about critical minerals. We discussed many a times about this critical minerals. What are the examples of it, where we are using this critical minerals, and even in 2026 prelims also there was a question on this critical minerals. So these 3 articles you have to say, because many a times we discuss the topics in our class. Just revise your notes, that's it. Okay, now read this title, guys. Karnataka develops manual to establish child-centric village communities in state. So what is the keyword? Child-centric village communities. That means directly or indirectly this article is talking about child rights, yes or no? So this article is talking about child-centric village communities. It is focusing on protection of children rights. Now my question is, what are the problems faced by the children in our society? Or what are the challenges faced by children? Come on, tell me, guys. I think in your polity, governance, you came across lots of problems faced by children. Come on, tell me, guys. I am not asking anything new. What is happening in your class, I am asking that itself. It will be like a revision for you. Come on, what are the problems faced by children? First one is child labor, yes or no? Next. Next. Be allowed. Child labor, bonded labor, apart from that. Malnutrition, accepted. Next. Malnutrition, child labor, child marriages, sexual exploitation of girl child. Next. What about dropouts? Especially girl child dropouts are more in villages. School dropouts. Next. Next, any other problems? Malnutrition, child labor, child marriage, sexual exploitation, school dropouts. Trafficking of girls. Okay, now I'll ask you what are the acts or what are the articles present in our country which talks about protection. Do we have any articles related to this? Related to school education, what is the act we have? Article 23-24 talks about what? Exploitation. No, I'm asking about education. Article 21A talks about right to education. Do we have any act? Any act or law made by the government to protect education of children? Right to Education Act we have no RTE 2009. RTE 2009 or Article 21A talks about it. Next, any other articles related to trafficking? Right against exploitation comes under Article 23 and Article 24 talks about right against exploitation, and it's related to sexual exploitation of children. Which act do we have? Court movie, POCSO. What is the full form? Prevention of Child from Sexual Offence Act, year 2012. Okay, related to malnutrition, do we have any scheme of the government which is focusing on improving of children health? Yes, PM Poshan Abhiyan. And next one is we have midday meals program, we have Anganwadi centers. Yes, we have National Food Security Act. We discussed all those things, right? So all the steps taken by against child labor, again this comes under this Article 23 and 24 only. Child labor. Related to child marriage, do we have any act? Prohibition of Child Marriage Act we have, right? That means what are the problems faced by the children in our society? Already our constitution is providing certain safeguards under articles, under fundamental rights, and even we have lots of acts. Right to Education Act, Prohibition of Child Marriage Act, we have POCSO, and apart from that, government is coming up with lots of policies and schemes related to that problem. But still, children are facing lots of problems at the ground level, right? So, here now, Karnataka government came up with a manual, and in this manual, they are protecting this children rights through village communities. They are empowering village communities at the local level, and they are trying to solve these problems. So here, how can you use this article? Are you understanding what is the base of this article? At rural levels or urban areas, children are facing lots of problems. And even in our constitution and in governance point of view, government is taking lot of steps. Despite of this, we have lots of problems which are there at the ground level. Every day we'll see lots of news articles related to this children, everything like that, negative. If you open this paper, every day at least 3 articles will be on this sexual exploitation of children. You can check. So here this article is saying that we have to always take steps from bottom to top approach, not from top to bottom. Central government to state government to district, district to villages, not like that. We have to go from bottom to top. We have to take steps from at the bottom level, that is villages. So here they are going to empower this village communities and they are trying to protect this children rights now. That is this article, guys. Without knowing all these things, you cannot connect directly with this article. Okay. So now let us see what this manual is about. Karnataka has developed a manual and now through this manual they are going to train officials and community stakeholders and they want to create children friendly or child centric villages. So what is this manual? They are giving certain guidelines to Gram Panchayat officials, presidents and members, school teachers, police officials and individuals who are directly or indirectly working with children. For them only they are giving this guidelines, what to do, what not to do and how to protect this children rights. Okay, and next important point you have to remember is what are the guidelines. So what are the things they are focusing on? The first one here is they are focusing on education school participation. And according to these guidelines, now all these people they have to work for 100% enrollment in the school. That means no children should be left. Every children has to enroll in a school. Not only enrollment, but even they have to ensure that there is attendance of the children. Not only joining in the school is necessary. Parents has to send their children to school. That is called as attendance. And the important aim is no child should left out of school or become a child labor. They want to prevent this child labor through this enrollment and by ensuring the attendance to the school. And this one is if they are attending school, for sure we have in some areas even free breakfast and as well as midday meals. Afternoon they will get food. So through this program, obviously what happened? They will get proper health and they will get proper nutrition. And next very important point they are focusing here is they have to provide even 100% vaccination. So many diseases in our society are preventable disease by giving vaccine like BCG vaccine for tuberculosis, measles, rubella vaccine, rotavirus for diarrhea and even for cancer also nowadays we have, especially cervical cancer we have a vaccine and even for malaria we have vaccine and recently we discussed about dengue vaccine, Q-dengue, right? So like that there are many diseases which are vaccine preventable. For such kind of disease we have to give this immunization. Giving vaccine is called as immunization. So for this government launched one program, do you know that? Indradhanush. PM Indradhanush. Prime Minister Indradhanush is a program under which government is providing free vaccination for the children. And do you know which kind of vaccine to be given in which time? No, do you have any idea? Do you have any idea of vaccine chart? Have you seen this vaccine chart, anyone? Doctors, anyone? Even I made mistake in my children. Now I am going for vaccination. I am completing vaccination now, literally. Because of the starting of institute in 2024, I stopped vaccine after I think 12 months. After 12 months, I didn't give vaccine for my children. But now if I want to join my children in school, they are asking compulsory vaccine chart. If I give that vaccine chart, then only they will give the admission form. So because of this, I am now taking them every month to the hospital and I am getting them vaccinated now. Okay, so here we will be having a clear-cut chart, right? Like 45 days after as soon as birth, after 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years, till 5 years we have regular vaccines. And now the Cervavac vaccine should be given at 9 years of age. And we have vitamin A related things should be given the fifth year. Like that we have different vaccines. So if you are giving your vaccines to your children, obviously their health will be getting improved and even they will be getting immunized. They will be getting immunity for that kind of diseases. So here they are also focusing on 100% immunization. And next one here is they are focusing on protection of children from harmful practices. What are those harmful practices? Child marriages, they are happening even in some localities, in rural areas. They want to protect that. And next one is teenage pregnancies. If they are having any sexual exploitation, obviously teenage pregnancies are possible because they will enter into this puberty at this teenage. Okay, so teenage pregnancies and child marriage, they want to stop. So for this, they are going to conduct some awareness programs to children, parents, and even teachers. Especially sex education is very important. Now we have to introduce in the schools, but nowhere it is taught. Everyone think that if you're talking about menstruation, if you're talking about puberty, if you're talking about sex education, if you're talking about what is a good touch, bad touch, it is not right in our society. But that is very important to stop this kind of negative consequences on the children. So now they are also going to talk about this, and they are taking this to the teachers and as well as parents at the local levels. And next one is they are also focusing on learning and recreation facilities. For that reason, they are establishing some libraries which are functional with books, and even they are trying to make children learn the concepts through games. That is nothing but practical based learning they want to introduce. So these are the things which are there in this manual through which we are going to protect this children rights. Okay, and what are the reasons here why we came up with this manual in this state of Karnataka? The first important reason here is there are lots of rural challenges, especially school dropouts is happening, child labor is happening, children are going along with their parents to work in agriculture. And next one is malnutrition is a problem. And next one is many a times immunization. Even I am a doctor, I delayed my children. So now you can understand what is the situation in these rural areas. They will not go for proper immunization itself. So because of this, compared to urban areas and rural areas, there will be very high rate of IMR, infant mortality rate, and under 5 mortality rate in remote areas and villages because of lack of proper immunization. And next one is child marriages and even teenage pregnancies are happening in these rural areas because of this overall impact is there on the children. So we have to control that. And next one is we have to strengthen our local governance like Gram Sabhas, like Panchayat officers, Anganwadi teachers. We have to empower them. And next one is this policy is also aligning with our national policy of sustainable development goals. So how many sustainable development goals do we have? 17 sustainable development goals, and we have to achieve them in 2030. So in that we have zero hunger, improving of health of people, right? We have to protect our environment, oceans. So if we are providing, and even we have gender equality, decent livelihood, like that we have 17 sustainable development goals. So if you are implementing that at the local level, obviously we can achieve this some of, not all, some of sustainable development goals. Okay, and we can also improve the development and growth indicators of that village. So these are the some reasons why we have to come up with this kind of manuals. If this is success in that area, obviously what happened? We are going to expand it to other parts so that we can achieve our target of Viksit Bharat also. And you know about recently forced labor related issues were there between India and US. Can you recall that? So because of that forced labor, US is imposing how much amount of tariff on Indian goods? 10%. So if you are achieving this, if you are implementing that, and if you are eliminating this forced labor, child labor, etc., obviously in international arena also, India will be having good name and fame. Obviously, it will be helping for maintaining good relations with other country also. Not only think from just panchayat level, you have to take it to international level. Are you understanding? In that way, you have to think in a broad way, not in a narrow way. This article is about village. I will think about only village. No. Now I connected with international relations. So like that, you have to connect with different subjects. You need to have that kind of mingling or accommodating with the circumstances. Then only you can write a good answer. Clear? See this article, read out the title. Lok Sabha passes SC Judges Bill without any discussion. What is this SC Judges Bill? Anyone? Can you recall something about it? Very good. Recently, our president used which article? Ordinance 123. Recently, our president used Article 123, which talks about ordinance making power. What is ordinance then? Whenever houses are not in session, president can make laws. Okay, what are the circumstances there? Both houses should not be in session, or even if one house is in session, president can use this Article 123 and pass laws. What about the power of governor? Do governor have the similar power? Which article? 213. Article 213 talks about power of governor to issue ordinance. You know this. Okay. So after once ordinance is passed, what is the next process? Whenever the houses will be in session, it has to be passed in the house. If it is not passed, what happens? It will die. Yes. So what is the maximum period of ordinance? 6 months, 6 weeks. Why 6 months, 6 weeks? In our constitution, it is clearly declared that houses has to meet at least twice in a year. That means at least in 6 months it has to meet. Okay, and within 6 weeks after the session start, it has to be passed. So because of this, the maximum life of this ordinance is 6 months, 6 weeks. You know this. Clear? Okay, now what is this bill is about? What it is talking about? We have to increase the number of judges of Supreme Court. So how many judges are there now, including CJI and Supreme Court? 34. 33 are judges plus 1 is CJI, Chief Justice of India. Now we have the strength of 34. And through this bill, through this ordinance, how many number of judges we are adding extra? 4. So now the total judges number will be, including CJI, is 38. That is that bill. And now my question is, why we are increasing this number of judges? Is that any need today? How many cases are pending in Supreme Court? Any idea? 6 lakhs? Around 90? Around 93,000 cases are pending in Supreme Court. And if you want to go for providing justice of that cases, obviously we need to increase the number of judges. So now I want to ask you one question. So who has the power to increase the number of judges of Supreme Court? President? Parliament. Don't confuse. It is not President. Parliament has the power. Because of that only that bill is present in this Lok Sabha. No. Apply common sense. How can I say President? Right? So Parliament has the power to increase the judges of Supreme Court. So now, because of this bill, for sure it will pass. It is passed in Lok Sabha. In Rajya Sabha also it will pass. And after passing in Rajya Sabha, it has to come for assent with President. President only passes this ordinance. Obviously, President will sign on that. If it is passed in Lok Sabha, for sure it will become an act. That means in 2027, you may get question on ordinance, possible question. And second one is judges of Supreme Court. In that, you have to see what? Qualifications. You have to see about appointment process. You have to see about acting judges, ad hoc judges. Can you recall that? Yes, we have the concept of acting judges, ad hoc judges. You have to see that, and you have to see about this judges cases, first judge, second judge, third judge, fourth judge. You have to see about collegium system. What is collegium system? It is about polity class only. Appointment. Who will be there as a members in this collegium system? How many members? CJI, Senior Supreme Court Judges. Okay, whatever the advice given by this collegium system, is it advisory or binding in nature? Is it binding or is it advisory? Advisory only, it is not binding. On this point, UPSC gave a statement earlier. Okay, so now I hope you understood what to read and what not to read from this topic. You have to see clearly ordinance, you have to see clearly about appointment of Supreme Court judges. For sure, you will get 100% question on this. Keep star mark. Students who are writing this 2027 prelims, keep star mark for collegium system and keep star mark for the Supreme Court judges. And you have to see even sometimes articles can be asked. If you are writing other than this UPSC, if you are attempting other exams like CAPF, CDS, they'll give you articles, article 123, article 124, article 213, article 124, subclass 1. If there are any subclass also, they'll ask. Because in 2026, they asked in that way for panchayats. Because of panchayats award which is there in news. Okay, in this way you have to connect. If you're not having good knowledge of current affairs, then it is gone. Because mostly they will link your current affairs with static and they'll give static questions. They will not give random questions at all in your UPSC. Okay. So this is about this topic, guys. Just see once. Already we discussed that. And see this article. IAF chief begins Vietnam visit to boost defense ties. What is this article talking about? India-Vietnam relations. Where is this Vietnam? Ma'am, I listened for this first time. Don't say that. Vietnam is in which part? In which continent at least? Asia only. Clarity. Yes. In Asia, which part of Asia? Southeast Asia. Is India sharing boundary with this Vietnam? Then which countries are sharing boundary with Vietnam? Come on, tell me last these 5 countries. Which are those 5 countries? Myanmar. Myanmar. That is, tell me Asian countries. How many countries are there as part of Asia? 10 countries, no? Tell me the 10 countries name. Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand. In these 5 countries only it is there, no? So here your work is there only map is pasted. So just see the map where exactly Vietnam is there. If you can't see there, if you are having any site, open your atlas or open your mobile and see these 5 countries and see the important rivers, because on this UPSC already asked question. Important river which is flowing, and next you have to see the country sharing boundary with Vietnam, and next you have to see the capital cities of these 5 countries, because earlier they gave just capital cities and they asked to arrange north to south, south to north. Okay, see this ones. Not east to west, they asked north to south only. So those countries are like zigzag manner. So they asked to arrange them north to south. So see this ones. Today your work is map of the Southeast Asia. Don't neglect this. Okay. So now this article is talking about who is IAF. IAF means Indian Air Force. Indian Air Force chief. He is on visit to Vietnam, and in this visit we are boosting, we are improving our defense ties. This is the article, right? Okay. So if one of our delegate, if he is visiting to Vietnam, it won't happen randomly. If there is any agreement signed before between India and Vietnam, to upgrade that, this kind of visits will happen. So here you have to see what this visit is about. Is there any agreement signed between India and Vietnam related to defense? You have to see, and what are the provisions of that agreement, and what our delegate is going to do in this visit. So these will be important. Okay. So how you can use this article? From prelims point of view, you can get a map based question, and from mains point of view, you may get what are the key provisions of India-Vietnam relations, what are the recent updates, what are the key achievements, what are the challenges, suggest way forward. In this way, you may get a question related to that country. If that country is seen repeatedly in news, because from international relations, you can expect only 3 or 4, maximum 4 questions. So one will be from grouping for sure. Like I said, we have Asian, we have RCEP. We discussed about UNSC elections. Yes. We have SCOs, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Like that, we have many organizations. From that, one question will be from organization. And next one between India and its bilateral relations, like India-Japan relations, India-US relations, India-China relations, like that. And one will be from India and its neighborhood countries. Okay, if we came up with any policy, recently we came with Shakti policy. What is Shakti policy? Shakti policy, what is it? Shakti vision. Shakti vision. Discuss, no? What is Shakti vision? Did I made you to write in the notes? Very good memory. Every day I'll be scolding only. You won't change, I won't change. What is Shakti vision? I think last 2 days ago only I said, 2 or 3 days. Shakti vision is about. Shanti. Yeah, Shanti. Shanti vision is about. Not nuclear, I said on that day. Shanti bill is about. Shanti bill is about. Shanti Act is about promoting private sector in nuclear. But Shanti vision is about UNSC election campaign of India. India is trying for 2028 to 2029 term as non-permanent or non-temporary member of UNSC. For that, India came up with this Shanti vision, and India is contesting against which country? Tajikistan. Very good, guys. Okay, so now let us see this article. Our Air Chief Marshal, he is on visit to Vietnam, and we are focusing on especially improving of defense ties with Vietnam. It is part of India-Vietnam Enhanced Comprehensive Strategy Partnership. We have signed strategic agreement with Vietnam. As part of that, our chief is on visit to Vietnam. And when we signed it in May 2026, recently only we signed this comprehensive strategic partnership with Vietnam. And actually, it is one of the key defense pillar between India and Vietnam ties. And if you see from past onwards how India developed relation with Vietnam is, India is providing training for the pilots related to flying of Sukhoi 30 fighter jet. And even India is providing training for this Vietnamese forces related to submarines. And even India is giving support for MiG-21 aircraft. And not only that, India and Vietnam, they are working together for maritime security and as well as defense industry, training and technology. And this meet or this visit is going to enhance bilateral relationship between India and Vietnam, and as well as we are going to increase peace in this Indo-Pacific region and as well as freedom of navigation stability. Okay, so that is about this topic, guys. That's it, nothing more than this. And see this next article, read out the title. Heat stress during pregnancy linked to adverse birth outcomes, says study. What is this article talking about? Heat impact on pregnancy. Okay, so to understand this article, you know we are releasing lots of pollutants into atmosphere. Wherever you go, pollution is common. It may be soil pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, light pollution, air pollution, whatever it may be. Overall, we are destroying our environment. That is the ability of humans. Wherever we can go, we'll go. We can destroy everything and we can come. Yes, that is the power of humans actually. So because of this, what is happening? Climate change is happening at a very faster pace. There is increased global warming. There is increased global temperature. Okay, so actually what is happening? Normally for a normal person, if you're working in sun or in a hotty day, what happens? Obviously, you will feel dehydration. Next, you'll get sunstroke. You'll be experiencing this burning micturition. That is nothing but whenever you're passing urine, you'll be getting burning sensation, and your urine will get more concentrated. Dark yellow color urine you can get because of dehydration. So what happens here is whenever you're working under sun, your body will secrete sweat. Why? To make your body cool. Your body will activate the mechanism of sweating. So in your body, the water will be coming outside as sweat. Because of this, the percentage of water in your blood will be reduced. Because water is coming outside, your blood the water in your blood will be reduced, and the blood will become very thick. If blood is becoming very thick, will it move freely? The movement will be reduced. Yes. And actually, whenever you are standing against gravitational force. What is gravitational force? The force which will be acting to pull you downwards is the gravitational force. And whenever your heart, which organ will pump the blood? Heart. So whenever your heart is pumping the blood, so your heart has to pump the blood to your lower body organs and even your upper body organs. For lower body organs, it is according to the gravitational force, easily your lower body parts will get blood. But here, if heart has to pump the blood to your upper body organs, it will be very difficult because it has to move against gravitational force. It has to pump with more pressure. And whenever the blood is thick, is it possible to pump blood to directly brain? It will be very difficult, and the blood is very thick now. Because of this, what happened? Whenever you are feeling dehydrated, whenever you are working in sun, you will feel this giddiness. Am I right? Yes. Some people will be falling down only. Some people will think that something is happening. I don't know what is happening. And some will directly go into unconscious state. They will sprinkle water. After some time, they will open the eyes. Right? So in many movies and serials, they will show this kind of incidents. Clearly, they will show sun. They will show the person. Like that, they will show some image and they will fall down and someone will be sprinkling water, they'll show the face while opening the face. So this kind of instance they'll show, right? So everything is science behind it. So because of your blood will become thick, it will be very difficult to pump the blood to the upper organs so that you'll feel giddiness because of lack of oxygen, because of no proper flow. And sometimes in severe conditions, even person can go into the coma because of this heat stress. I think you might have seen many articles because of the sunstroke, many people died, especially agriculture laborers, farmers. Have you seen this kind of articles? It is because of this mechanism actually. So actually for the normal person only, it will be having lots of negative impact. But in the pregnancy, in pregnant woman, she has to take the burden of supplying of blood to the baby also. And even it is a responsibility of mother to take out the waste from the baby, and they have to clear their waste, and they have to supply good blood to the baby, right? So because of this, what happened, whenever they are working in the heat stress, the blood will be thickened. Even baby will not get proper oxygen. As you all know that for the proper functioning of the cells, oxygen is very much required. If there is no oxygen, there is no proper function of body cells. Because of this, baby will not develop to the expected range. Because of this, what happened? Many a times we can see low birth weight babies. Normally, what is the weight? At least 2.25 kgs, and maximum will be like even 5 kgs also. Sometimes we can see babies with 5 kgs. They will say Balabimudu puttadu 5 kgs unnadu. It is a record. You'll get lot of articles in news, or also even in YouTube, Insta. They will become viral actually. If there is any baby who had been more than 5 kgs like that, they'll use this word Bimudu only. Bimudu is very famous for that body, right? No mythology, I too don't have any knowledge of mythology, just I know some characters. Okay, next one here is there will be preterm births. Normally, what is the gestation period for humans? 9 months. But before 9 months, normally in the 7 months or 8 months, sometimes delivery will happen. I too went for this preterm delivery only. So here what happens, because of stress, there may be early contractions that will leads to preterm delivery. And next one is stillbirths. Do you know, have you heard this word stillbirths? Before the complete development of the baby itself, they'll go for delivery. That will leads to stillbirths. So these are the major problems which had been recorded in this National Family Health Survey. This is about this article. Now you have to think about what can be done to reduce climate change, to reduce heat stress, and what kind of policies government has to take to protect this pregnancy woman or pregnant woman from heat waves. In these dimensions, you have to think. You may get a case study also on this area. You are a district collector, and in your area there is increased heat, there is persistent heat wave from last 3 years, and it is having impact on the pregnant woman. There is recently there is one report of NFHS which says there is very high level of low birth weight, preterm or stillbirths in children. What kind of measures you will take? In that way, you may get a case study also, because it is your responsibility to ensure that you are protecting the vulnerable sections. Here, the most vulnerable section is pregnant women. Okay, in that way, you may get a case study, and you have to be aware about that, and you have to think about some points and try to write down 4 to 5 points like what can be done. Clear? And now let us see the next article. See this, guys. Water bombing aircraft helps Greece battle wildfires. So here you have to know about this water bombing aircraft. You know, many a times we discussed articles related to wildfires in India. Yes, especially in Himalayan region, northeastern part, even the Western Ghat. Recently we discussed about Amazon fires. Can you recall that article? Amazon forest fires. What we discussed in that article? What exactly the report said about Amazon forest fires? Decrease in number of forest fires in Amazon, right? And we discussed about Australian bushfires also. In that case today I said about koalas, I said about eucalyptus plants. Can you recall that all? So every year, not only in India, but in different parts of the world also, they experience this wildfires. And in your disaster management, you have this topic clearly mentioned about forest fires. That means you have to know about this. So now Greece is using one aircraft called as water bombing aircraft. Can you see here what it is releasing? Water. So there will be some areas which are very difficult where we can go by land. So if there are any fires in that area, they can use this kind of aircraft and they can spray thousands of liters of water accurately on that location, and they can try to reduce the spread of fire, or sometimes they can put off the fire completely. That kind of equipment is called as water bombing aircraft. So you may get question on this. Consider the following statements regarding water bombing aircrafts. Another, it can give you 2 to 3 statements and may ask you to identify which of the statements are correct or incorrect. Okay, you have to know about that technology, how it is working and where they'll take water, everything. And next one here is now Greece. Where is this Greece located? Which continent? Europe. Yes. Europe comes under which part, like tropical region or temperate or polar region? Polar. Polar region, where it is? Beyond 60 degrees centigrade, 60 degrees north or 60 degrees south, it is come under this like polar. Exactly around this pole we can see like it is covered with ice. That is exactly the pole. But if you go beyond this 60 degrees also, we can see this icy area. But where is this located? Greece? Temperate regions, right? In temperate regions, normally the temperature is less or high? Less only, right? But why this fire? Normally these fires are seen in tropical region, no, but in temperate region, that too in this Greece, why we are seeing these wildfires? What is the reason? You have to think about that reason also. In your geography, you'll come across one topic called as local winds. There you'll study about hot winds and cold winds. Actually, whenever this hot winds which flow, that can cause this kind of forest fires. Every year, you'll have one more forest fire in California. Where is California? In US? Yes. The major reason for that California wildfire is one hot air called as Santa Ana. In your geography, whenever Sandeep sir discuss about this climatology, they clearly tell about what are these local winds, what are hot winds, what are cold winds, what are the impacts of this hot winds and cold winds. There will be different names for this winds like snow eater, this wildfire Santa Ana. So lots of things you will see in that. Right now I can't recall all those names. Okay, so in your geography class, sir will be discussing about it. So now let us see what is this water bombing aircraft. These are nothing but aeroplanes or helicopters. They are designed to carry water, and they will drop large amounts of water directly on the fire from air. So they are having certain kind of design so that they can carry large amount of water. And next, now here Greece is using one plane, and the name here is Canadair CL415 plane. Please make a note here. Canadair CL415 plane. UPSC can give you a question in this way. In 2025 they gave, consider the following pairs. They'll give you the name of this equipment and they'll ask what it is. Okay, now they will give you in this way, consider the following. Canadair CL415 plane, it is missile. Is that missile? Water bombing aircraft. So like that you may get a pair based question on that. You have to be careful. If there is anything, something which is in news, UPSC has a tendency to ask about it. Okay, next one here is, so this aircraft has one speciality. What it will do is, if there is any nearby water body like sea or lake or any reservoir, from that it will directly scoop the water. Like how we will drink a cool drink or coconut water by using straw, in the same way, here the plane will be there in that area and it will be scooping the water. It will store water. It will come and it will spray wherever the area, if there is any wildfire, it will spray like that. There is no need of stopping of that aircraft or aeroplane in airport to fill the water. So if there is any water body nearby, it can directly scoop the water by using certain equipment, and that can store and that can spray directly the place where this wildfire is going on. That is the technology which is used here. And what are the reasons? Whenever we are talking about the reasons of wildfire, we have two types. Natural causes, next one is man-made. What are the natural causes? because of climate change, because of heat waves, because of hot winds. It may cause wildfire. But what are the man-made? Man-made causes are many because of negligence, like electrical infrastructure or agriculture burning, stubble burning, or like if we go for any area for tour, we can have campfires. If we leave that campfire like that, even when we are traveling, if we throw the bud of cigarette, it may cause fire. Okay, and even outdoor activities, if you are doing, if they're causing any sparks, obviously that will lead to this kind of fires. And next one is if we are having poor management of forest, abandoned rural areas, unmaintained vegetation, all these are the major reasons why we can see this fires in this area. Okay, and there are other three topics I already said. The first one is birds and dust registration bill, and next one is FIFA, and next one is critical minerals. Just those. Just see those three articles. Already I discussed many a times about that. See the questions case. The first one is about water bombing aircraft. And there are 4 statements. See this. First one is water bombing aircraft are designed to drop water or fire retardants over wildfire affected areas. Ambitious water bombing aircraft can scoop water directly from lakes, reservoirs or seas without landing at an airport. Helicopters can also be used for aerial firefighting using suspended water buckets. Next one is water bombing aircrafts are effective only in extinguishing forest fires completely and have no role in slowing fire spread. What is extreme word here? Which is extreme statement? Because it is saying completely. Sometimes it may not be done completely, but it can stop the spread. So I said extreme words. That is the second tip I gave in our tips class. So try to revise that once again. Tips notes. Fourth one is for sure wrong. Answer is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, see this next one guys. With reference to the appointment of judges of Supreme Court in India, consider the following statements. The Supreme Court judges are appointed by President of India. The Constitution originally provided for collegium system. The Chief Justice of India is appointed by President. The recommendations of collegium system has evolved through Supreme Court judgments. Tell me the answer. I don't want to give any hint. Online students, tell me in the comment box. You can do it, guys. Did Constitution tell anything about collegium system? That is a one commonly seen loophole in UPSC. Every year in politics question, one or other question, it will give this. Constitution says about this, Constitution says about this. But that will be 99% will be wrong. Okay? So it is wrong. Supreme Court judges, obviously President. CJ, obviously President. And the recommendations based on Supreme Court judges. Judgments. We have first judge case, second, third, fourth, right? So this is right. So answer will be 1, 3 and 4. Second statement is wrong. Clear? That's all guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do hit the like button and please do share this video to your friends. And don't forget about this anthropology optional. I wish you all the best.